So robots can only have like the feelings of a fish. They can only have capacities of commands of a bug. Like people can only program a robot to do so much. That we really can't do that. We really can't command a robot to do works of a human or work of a horse. We can actually make a car to do that. But a car, let's just say, this is an engine. This is an engine. This is a tire. These are headlights. These are oops. These are taillights. Come on, this camera. And this is what commands a car. If it has a mind to command itself, then who do we control? Well, again, a robot only has plastic. We have living hands. We have cells. A robot's going to be made out of plastic. It's going to be made out of metal. It's going to be made out of whatever we make it out of. So in all honesty, we can't even make what God created. He's too great for that. And yet He creates life. Remember that. His all wonderful works, we're nothing compared to Him. Now, let's go back to the garden. We created such wonderful gardens like near Vancouver, Canada. Yet, Jesus created heaven, a much more beautiful place than you can ever imagine. No man's imagination can go to God. Like technological wise, technological, whatever we call it, technically speaking, we can only create, what is, basically we can only create, what is, in our imagination. Now, I can imagine, by the way, I can imagine this. There's a city that is like a mountain. It has many precious pearls and gems and gold on streets. Now the golds are streets, but there are purple buildings that are there's actually a crystal, there's actually gemstone, and that's worth, there's no worth on that building because it's too pricey for our Earth. That building is literally, let's say, 2 miles tall. And about I would say 500 feet wide, let's say. So it's literally 500 feet tall and 2 miles tall. It's a building made of a single gemstone that was literally that big. It's like it's as pricey as a diamond, let's say. And there's also all kinds of those buildings, and there's also a pearl building and building decked with gemstones, like sparkling on the inside, like very shiny and very beautiful. Buildings with gold and silver and gemstones and pearls and all that. Then you have that, and then literally having that aside for, let's say, 1,400 miles tall, and having those buildings on top of each other until we make the Tower of Jesus. And literally we have that mountain that's 1,400 miles tall and wide by a square, and 1,400 miles tall as a cube. But it's really a mountain. And that's as big as, let's say, Springfield to Orlando, Florida. If you know where Springfield is. If you don't, then it's Boston to Orlando, Florida. It's literally as big. It's literally as big as that, and it's all as wide as it gets. Then you're saying, where are the gardens? Because the gardens are all over the place. It's the most beautiful garden you can ever imagine. And in that city, in that mountain, is a full city of gardens. That there are billion gardens in that heaven, and the gardens are worth if basically selected by the garden, each garden is priceless, and each cubic foot of the garden is still priceless. And there's also pearls in that garden and all that. It's probably the most beautiful thing you can ever see, is the gardens. Then there's outside of the city of heaven, which is more gardens and more beauty and more nature and more awesomeness. Then there's God's throne room, where Jesus is, where he created all of that, and yet still, that is not high tech. That is just beautiful. Yet he created life with cells of his command. He still, creates all that, and the most magnificent things he created are from him. Yet from us, they look satanic and artificial. I'll do the next video, okay? Alright.